Hello, and welcome to Literarily Wasted. My name is Talia.
I'm Christy.
I'm Lucas.
There's Lucas. And here's me. Hey. I gotta find this playing over my headphones. Hey, y'all are on now. Go for it.
Haha! And tonight we are discussing the second half and the book as a whole of Vicious by V.E. Schwab. So let's get into it. Will you give us, for the few members...
We decided we weren't doing that.
Oh, we aren't? Oh, just kidding.
You said I didn't have to.
I did say that. I'm remembering just now that I said that to you. So, if some of you decided to skip ahead and read Vengeance, please don't post any spoilers. And I will do my best to not say any.
Well, I think I guess for a little recap I could do without doing any research, is they had the big showdown. Victor died.
Mm-hmm.
Sidney is digging up his grave. That happened in like the last sentence or so. And Eli got arrested. Do you need more of a recap than that?
Nope.
Okay, so nothing past that. I don't know where book 2 starts.
Talia knows.
No, I don't. I don't remember anything. I'm not a spoiler. Hi, everybody. Chris says
Virginia.
bump up Christy's mic.
Bump up Christy's mic.
Yes, that's what Chris just said. And
Christy, just
someone
talk louder.
liked it.
You know I'm not a loud talker.
Try.
Someone else just said it too. Dan did.
That's 2. That
And
means it's probably not me.
Sver told me to stop reading ahead. Don't tell me how to live my life.
I don't think she's capable of not reading ahead.
Sorry.
That's how she lives her best life,
Yeah.
is reading ahead.
Ha 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 ha. And on YouTube, hello Abby and Giggles Vids. It's nice, and Megan Cooper. We love our faithful YouTubers.
And
that
Giggles
always
Vids
come
is
back
up on
every
there
single,
every
yes.
single month. Giggles Vids.
We
Don't
love
know who
y'all.
you are, but rock that YouTube.
And Kisa? You can tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Please do. Last name Young. Hi. And they're watching through their phones. That's fine. I mean, that's what we do. All right. Lazarus says, Vicious is a great book. Love the ending. Can't wait to read Vengeance. Well, you let me know when you do, and we will talk about it, because I also read it.
Rachel reads ahead too, so you're in good company.
See, it's called being an aggressive go-getter.
Ian, I'm with you. I just finished the book today as well. Rock on, man.
Can you help me? So, okay, then first thoughts, because you had a hard time getting through this book initially.
No, I wouldn't say that. It wasn't Night Circus or Good Omens. It definitely
Okay, but I'm just
read
saying,
easier.
it took you a minute, but now that you finished it, what are your thoughts?
I really liked it. I think her pacing was good. I kind of wish that she maybe gave a little bit more atmosphere. It was like we had the two extremes of
yes.
last month we had the Night Circus where it was atmosphere, and like it felt really loose and kind of little too empty, if you will, on the plot side. And then this one was just like plot driven all the way through, and it was almost not enough atmosphere in some spots for me, where it was just like bam bam bam. But at the same time, I felt like I was accomplishing stuff because the chapters were a little bit shorter and more succinct. And I really liked it. There were some really good twists at the end.
Yeah, there
some
were
really
a lot of twists.
some really
Yes.
good characters. And I was telling the ladies earlier, if I had to, Tally's like, shut up, Lucas.
No,
If I had
we're
to,
going to talk about all the things.
if I had to put it in my literally wasted rankings so far, Wool is my top, and then this is my second. So I liked it. I will definitely read Vengeance.
Yes,
Is it
Vengeance.
Vengeful?
Vengeful.
I think it's Vengeance.
It's one of those.
Another V word. So I will
Oh, yeah, it
definitely
says it in there.
partake in that because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
No, that way. Got beat, Mark. Okay, Chrissy,
Vengeful.
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 Yeah.
Full of the Venge. Tell me what you thought of Vicious, the second half specifically.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Adam, what did you think of the second half of Vicious? I almost said Vengeful.
So I thought that the second half, I got to take these off because I can hear myself echoing. I thought that the second half of Vicious was like a million times better than the first half.
Oh,
Like, I don't
yeah.
know, we were like talking about the first half and it was like, you know, it's kind of light. It's not really grabbing me. I'm into it, but, you know, I don't know. But then all of a sudden the second half came around and I was like, oh, you saved all the good stuff for part 2. Which was exciting. You finally got inside Eli's head. You finally got to get a sense of like, I mean, you got in like everybody's head. She saved like everybody's internal head space for the second half of the book. It was like, we got Eli, we got Serena, we got Sidney, we got Mitch, even. We got everybody. And I really liked that. And I really liked the development of Eli and Serena's relationship and what she did to him, and basically how like in control she was at all times, and you know, Victor and Sidney and Mitch, the three musketeers doing their thing. There was just a lot of more excitement for me, so I enjoyed that.
What'd you think, Talia?
So after our last discussion, I was really excited to dive back into the book just because everyone's discussion made me so much more excited about the possibilities and where it was going to go. And to me, it was almost creepy. Like all of our concerns, all of the things that we talked about last time, points that we thought were weaknesses or things that we wanted to see or directions we wanted it to go, that is exactly what she did in the second half. And that felt really eerie, like for me, that I was like, oh, she literally fixed everything that we talked about. And for me, I thought the second half was incredible, so much so that I launched obviously right into Vengeful and then super enjoyed that even more. That's another thing. I don't really have any complaints, honestly, about the second half. Like, yes, I can understand this was not like an atmospheric type story.
But it moved.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so much more. And like all of the things, like we're like feel like the stakes aren't high, and there's like, what is this really about? That totally changed. The second half was very tense for me, but like in a fantastic way.
Well, speaking of complaints, B.E. Schwab committed the ultimate sin and killed a dog twice.
Oh.
We have several people saying that they almost threw. Kimberly said that she was very upset, and I forget where I read it earlier, but someone said that they loved it and they almost threw the book across the room when Eli killed. It's a doll.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, here's
The
Dan.
second time, and I get it too, because
I was really upset.
Yeah.
Well, Dan's problem is he doesn't know if dolls pronounce like doll or like a jar of pickles.
I believe it's doll.
I just like that was his issue. That's fair. I don't ever know how to pronounce anything. It's always a gamble every time I say it out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Jeff says Eli as a character was way underdeveloped. What do you think?
I feel like we could have gotten more from Eli, but one of the things I loved about the second half, and that Adam already touched on, is that we got the story from Eli's perspective, and I really appreciated that. Like that I got so excited reading when we were reading from his perspective, because it just changed everything. And I really liked being in his head.
Yeah,
even
I
though
think
he is messed up.
That helped me a lot to see how he doesn't see that he's messed up.
Yeah.
Like we needed to see that.
Yeah.
The religious aspect and the total, I don't know the technical word, bonkersness of how his mind works.
I believe it is bonkersness.
Was horrifying. I know we shouldn't get into specifics, but that whole thing of like how if this is God's will, then he will allow this.
Well, and also,
Yikes!
after each of his things, he like felt like a sign, like he like felt like physically something that made him know that he made the right choice and he did the right thing, even when he was killing Nanios at first in the college.
That to me made him even more terrifying, because the moment I read that, I was like, oh, psychotic serial killer. That is what he is, a serial killer.
Well, yeah, and
like,
he did it for 10 years, like a really prolific serial killer.
Yuck. I lost my choo-choo train of thought.
Yeah, no, that was good seeing that, and then
He's such a good villain.
Well, Jeff Moore asked, what about the scars on Eli's back? That was never explained at all. And I think they did talk about that it was from his father,
Yes.
who was a preacher. Is that right?
I still think he killed his father.
I wouldn't put it past him.
That's my theory.
Talia, what are you doing?
I'm reading. Jeff Moore says, what about the scars on Eli's back? That was never explained at all. That's what we just talked about. Yes, he did. He did say, like during the college years, right? He told his friend about his dad, and it was like one sentence, and that was it.
And that was the only time Victor ever heard about Eli's family.
Yeah.
Like in their whole relationship, which was interesting. But one of the things I actually had a big problem with was their looks. I pictured Victor as the dark one, like dark hair and all in black, and I pictured Eli like he's the one from God, like he should be blonde and perfect, and it was totally swapped. And I had such a hard time every time they mention it. Oh, well, yeah, you know. But every time they
Are you saying that we're not from God?
No, but like I guess stereotypically there's
Yeah, no.
yeah. But they mention it quite a bit, like the hair colors and stuff, and it always like made me dizzy a little bit.
See, I kind of liked that. I liked that Eli was supposed to be, I pictured him as like the all-American boy next door, like tan with a good smile and the curly hair, and he's like a thick, like healthy, athletic dude with like the big jovial smile, and then seeing Victor as something that
Hey, everybody.
as someone that came from the dark. You know how they say when something's in the dark for a very long time, it loses pigmentation. So like with the white blonde hair and the pale skin and this gaunt silhouette, and then wearing the all black, and it's because he's hiding all the time. And I liked seeing that contrast of, like, to me, Eli is the super dark, scary one. So the fact that his visage, is that the word I'm thinking of? Like, is totally contrary to that, and he looks like this happy, sunny character, made it all the more ominous. Okay. I just said a bunch of words.
Visage and ominous in a tight, compact few sentences. Very impressive.
I haven't had all my wine yet, so thank you very much. Things will disintegrate as we progress.
Yeah, but I really liked that. I really liked seeing Serena's perspective. Like, I thought she was really fascinating.
I
and
loved that.
And
it being revealed that she's not a pawn.
Right, and it's fascinating to me, having to keep that up, but like you could see then the attraction of Eli, because it's like, okay, if you're around people and that did everything you said no matter what, you know, to the point where you told your boyfriend to jump off a bridge, isn't that what she did?
Yeah.
Oh my God, when I read that part.
It's like, hey, go jump off a bridge.
I gasped out loud when I read that part.
Oh, I no, that was like, oh my God, so she's just as freaking crazy. But like, I could understand then, and I appreciated that she brought all that up, because you could see then it's like, oh well, yeah, this person isn't giving in, so she wants to be around him. So I just thought that was really fascinating and a really good character take, and I think V.E. Schwab really wove. Sorry, I haven't had any wine yet. Wove her into to the story really well at the end to tie it all in and make that ending really exciting.
So while I was doing the mic thing, I totally missed a lot of what you said, Talia, which I'm really sorry, because
I don't remember. It's fine.
do y'all have like a big thing about Sarina already? Is that what it
No.
was? Okay. One of the things I loved about Sarina was her power's awesome, almost. Like it when we first learned about it, it was such a cool thing. And like someone mentioned Kilgrave from Jessica Jones, and yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me. But hers is like his, except times a million. It's amped up, and like the way that it was making her so miserable was just fascinating to me. So sorry if we already did some of that.
Really scary.
Oh gosh, yeah, and like she can't even control it. Like it said, she doesn't have to even say things. Like Kilgrave, at least, his limitation is that he has to tell you to do something, like go jump off a bridge. But she can just suggest.
Yeah.
And also, it kind of seems like people just want to be around her. She makes them feel good, a lot like Victor can make people feel bad, although his is obviously a physical thing.
Yeah, we had Kristen and Lisa saying that, Serena was the scariest character, and I think so too, because,
yeah.
and you see it, so obviously there was a level of connection with an EO, Eli had a level of letting it dissipate, the same with her sister, but then like the normal humans, like it didn't go away, right? Like when she said he's a hero, like she didn't have to keep reiterating that, and so
Yeah, well,
until the very end, until she is gone, then it finally breaks.
well, Talia mentioned earlier that like Victor tested it. He took someone who was under her thrall, killed him, and then got Sidney to bring him back, and
Yeah.
he was still under it. And that's
He
crazy.
died.
Yeah.
He died, and her power still worked on a not zombie because he came back to life.
Well, and the fact that she can't control it at all, she can't turn it off.
Yeah, someone mentioned that. I lost it. Nicole, Serena couldn't turn the power off. No, she couldn't. That's what everyone else had control of their ability, and they could use it when they wanted to. No, so you have to be so careful with what you say. Yeah, all of a sudden everyone turns into Drax, and it's real literal.
Well,
like,
And she said like she didn't have to fight for anything ever again. Like, and she was so just exhausted by it. Like, nothing was worth doing anything because she didn't have to work for it at all.
So Vicky asks, was Eli's resistance to Serena's power due to his will or his own power?
I feel this is obviously just my opinion. I have no clue if this is factual or not. But I would say his will, because his will is so strong. It's what brought him back in the first place. Obviously, all of these EOs have an incredibly strong will, or they wouldn't be an EO in the first place. That's part of what it takes. And the fact that his will is so strong, but that he has chosen this path, speaks to his will quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I think his power is simply that he does not change.
But his power is also that he regenerates, and he is the only one who has ever been able to resist her since she got the power. And maybe it has something to do with maybe like
There's some
the
synapse or
regeneration
something
part is
that's
something. Yeah.
He's the only one who knew, that he was being manipulated, that knows about her power. So maybe that's part of it.
But
the resistance is that he's aware that he's being manipulated.
if she's so bored and frustrated with like the way her life is and the way the power works, I'm sure she would have told someone. She would have tried it. Because it doesn't matter. She can tell anyone anything.
That's true.
These mics are not cooperating today. I'm sorry.
More
Mine again?
still?
Nope, now it's Tallies.
it's
Oh no.
Tallies
No.
now.
No, you stay. Hey, everybody. I'm on
This is the miracle and the beauty of live intranet, everybody. This is real interwebs right here.
If Sidney dies, does everyone and everything she's revived,
Ooh,
is it dead?
that's interesting, Vicky.
That's a great question.
Closer to your face.
Oh man.
Did you say mine's still working?
Well, good
we
thing
both
she's
need
young.
it?
Ew, that's terrifying.
Wait, what?
Wow, that's
If
deep.
Sidney dies, does everything she's revived die?
I don't think so. My vote is no. Ooh, this would be a good time for a poll. We don't have time.
Hey, Adam, while you're fixing the
like,
mic
what?
issues, will you throw up a poll for everybody? Thanks.
Hey, while
Great.
you're out,
Sorry, just kidding. Maybe later. If Sidney dies,
does everything else
that
That
she's
she-
revived die.
I don't feel like it does. I'm gonna vote
That's deep, though.
Well,
no.
because what?
'Cause I don't wanna.
Serena's powers obviously wear off once she dies. We saw proof
That.
of that. And then also Victor, he had a question about like distance. He's like, if his powers work better if they're like within line of sight.
Well, but when he died,
They
everyone
did
else, like they
instantly
started
stop.
to feel
Yeah.
the pain that she was able to feel the bullet wound. and
But
stuff.
also those two are just influencing people, while Sidney is like bringing someone back and healing them totally.
Thank
Sorry.
you. No, I was just like, that's my point. She isn't reanimating corpses. She isn't making zombies. She is healing these people and bringing them back.
Yeah.
And that is why I vote no.
Yeah, Dan says Susan and I both say no.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah. But that's so interesting. I never even
That's
thought
a really
of
good
that.
take, Vicky. I like. Good discussion point.
Mike
Cornelison.
Cornelison. Sorry. On YouTube said that in the audiobook, the dog's name is pronounced Doll.
Yes. I wouldn't know
Oh, is that what
but
you said?
yes, that's how it's pronounced. I did listen to the audiobook to finish. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, guys.
Oh, interesting. Emily Carbo. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. She said that would be like on the originals / Vampire Diaries. When one original dies, everyone they change
It's
dies.
like a tree.
Yeah. So maybe. I think that's really
Ew.
an interesting idea.
But they're not dead.
Yeah, and she does totally heal them. So
You
I think
want
this
everybody
Is that what happens
could
in a
go either
pyramid
way.
scheme?
Oh. The poll is live.
Poll is
maybe.
live.
Also, I would like to jump back 2 weeks and talk about how you thought Sidney was dead. Do you still think that she's dead now that the book's over?
I'm thinking that she's probably not actually a zombie.
Oh yeah, we did have the
Well, and that's what the poll too last time is that she's not a zombie. So I now agree, even though I thought it was kind of cool that she might be.
If she were a zombie, she wouldn't keep growing.
Um,
Also, I want y'all to know because you freaked me out last time. Sorry. About everyone talking about how your nails and hair and stuff still grow after you die. No, they don't. I Googled it. And y'all scared me for nothing. It's just that your body, when it starts to rot and decay, like shrivels up. So it seems like it gets longer, but it doesn't. Not that it's any less gross, but it's a little less horrifying. Hey, what's up, Adam?
So just to address the technical issues, I just want you to see how calm I am right now. You'll notice I accidentally just cut to the countdown video for like half a second, and then just cut like everything for like
Work at
a
all?
frame.
just that
It's
one?
not making sound.
Okay.
Here, do you want mine?
So no, you're good. You keep yours. Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
He's really loud.
I'm gonna keep working on this. Have fun. Share. Just share.
oh, someone
want this
said it
to
might
go-
be a left-right channel thing again, maybe.
It's not.
Okay.
Here, I'll take my turn holding.
Okay.
So Justin asks, is Eli basically immortal? How could Eli die? Because
Decapitation.
that's what I was
I
thinking.
thought about that.
Decapitation and burning.
I
But
don't even
you don't
think
think
burning
burning?
would work unless it was like really high heat.
What about
really
like
fast.
super acid?
Anything that melts him like away?
Yeah,
Sure.
Like super acid. That's
Yeah.
a thing, right?
Talia,
Talia?
please.
You know what it made me think of? Because, yeah, so he's immortal.
Pretty
Um,
much.
Yeah, like you can't kill him.
Well, and
'cause
he's
he
not
keeps
aging,
healing.
which is crazy.
But they discovered, remember Victor discovered he can't heal. He's got that like
well, it can't heal around it. I guess.
David says Osiris
I'm not
death is the only way to kill
done.
Eli. David, what is Osiris death? Anyway.
No, my point is, and I can't remember which movie this is from, but there's like old vampire. It might have been from Vampire Diaries or something. No, but kind of. But you just trap them. You injure them in a way that he cannot continue to heal, and then you wall him up in a little tomb, and now he's gonna haunt that creepy little tomb.
I've seen that on set.
David Stein says T1000 death.
I don't know what that
I
is.
still don't understand what that means.
Oh my god.
Explain, please.
Terminator 2?
So Jay says stake in the heart and leave it there, which I think kind of matches what
Yeah.
you're saying.
And
so
then-
stake in the heart and then bury him.
And then brick him into the wall,
Yeah.
and then whoever decides to uncover him later, then dum, that's your problem. You shouldn't have done that.
I do still think decapitation would be the cleanest, well, not cleanest,
Ew.
fastest, and like most permanent way though.
You're a little scary right now.
Just like a law bat.
Decapitate him!
Well, it makes sense.
No, it does. It's
Lazarus said he would grow a new head.
Ew!
He
Then
might.
There's 2 brains. No.
Was that a Men in Black?
This mic work now. It works
guy-
now. Listen, it works.
Yes. Yeah.
Yay, Adam. Everybody thumbs up for Adam. Give all the thumbs up. I'm
And
going
Men
to
in
thumbs up.
Black-
I'm just gonna hold it because this makes me feel fancy.
But in Men in Black, it wasn't his head. It was like his suit.
Exoskeleton
Yeah,
thing,
thing.
maybe.
Wait, what are y'all talking about?
You want this one?
Oh, the guy. Yeah.
There's
It's
no
when
microphone
it's.
on it.
Well, I won't get tangent.
Wait, what are you talking about?
When
so
when Tommy Lee Jones shoots the guy,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's like,
and-
"Grrr," and it's like, yeah,
Okay,
his head grows back.
Another question. So, if Sidney tries to bring back someone who has been decapitated, what happens?
Two brains.
Two brains.
I don't think that's the right answer here. Well, I don't know. She could try to bring back both sides, and maybe she gets two people.
Ew!
Ian has a very insightful comment.
yeah.
I got a really weird thought. What if he got eaten by an animal or something? Would he have to be like excreted?
Eli poop.
Is he like a starfish? So if you cut him up into a bunch of pieces, would he
Well,
like
that's what apparently
grow
the
multiple
Osiris
ones?
death is. They like cut him up and stash him all over Egypt.
He's not a Hydra. He's just like...
We don't know the scope of his powers. I really hope Vengeful addresses some of these questions.
Don't talk about it.
But
Oh, hey.
let's not talk about it. Let's move on.
My wag works too.
It's a good movie,
All right.
Jay. Jay,
I
thank
think
you for
everybody has-
staying awake for us.
I think everybody has working mics now.
Yay, Adam! Everybody give
Yay.
Adam a thumbs up.
Yay.
That's a
Okay,
good point.
back to
Melissa
you.
says the woman in the morgue grew new organs. She did. Okay, but organ, like a pancreas and a head, are not the same.
It was just a discussion question.
So
I want to believe that it's not possible because it sounds super scary.
So we kind of talked about Eli. What about Carrie brought up a good point. Can we talk about Victor's internal struggle with shooting the cop at the bar?
Yeah.
I did. I felt. I mean, I know this was all a book of gray areas, but I don't know.
Can someone remind
I liked
me
Victor.
of
So
that was
Carrie-
a couple of books ago.
Carrie
What
actually
happened?
said that he understood it was the wrong thing to do, but he wanted to do it because it would be the easy thing to do, and then he was relieved when he didn't have to make that choice. And if y'all have anything to add,
Wait, what happened?
like, at the
I don't
bar.
remember the scene.
Was that when Mitch, the first time Mitch almost died?
I can't remember.
Someone
Sierra
help us
says
out
no.
here.
No, it was when I thought Mitch was dead, and Victor and
Melissa, come over here. Come over here.
Was this in the bathroom?
Melissa, everybody.
Hey, what's up, guys? No, when Victor and is it Dominic? Is that the new guy? And Mitch were by the car.
When they were
and
outside
they went to go
still.
find Mitch's body.
Yes.
But he lowered the gun before the guy started walking inside, so he already decided like it's the easiest thing to do, but it's really not the right thing to do. So, a little bit of a conscience,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, he never had a great conscience, especially when he first got his powers and he was killing people like just because it's the fastest thing to do.
But he's also not a serial killer.
So Jeff Moore says, I think he was saved from shooting him. Pretty sure he would have done it if the radio didn't save him.
Yeah.
But I think that's interesting that he had already started lowering the gun.
But he can also just drop him.
So I missed a lot of the conversation.
Yeah.
I think talking about people and their consciences, did we already do that? Because I think that's a good
I
conversation.
think we kind of
to
just
have.
started that actually.
'Cause,
So
like,
if you want to,
Talking about like Victor and his conscience, Mitch and his conscience, Sidney, kind of. I mean, she had one. The people that we'd look at like didn't really have one would be like Eli and Serena. You know, Sarina was basically like she'd given up.
Yeah.
And
I feel
was
like
just
she accepted being
well, she-
evil
she
really
accepted
quickly.
it, but like got bored. She was just like bored and apathetic. And then like, but you look at like people like, you know, they all talk about how like becoming an EO makes you dead inside.
well, it makes you lose something.
You lose something.
Not
but
all
then,
of you
like,
comes
but
back.
some of them still held on to something. Like Sidney didn't really seem like she lost much. So yeah, I think we should talk about like conscience,
Her ability to
conscience
grow.
in general. It's back on y'all now. Yeah, whatever you're doing is.
Well, I think the clearest one is probably Mitch as far as conscience goes. Like, he was just kind of a good guy with a good heart, and like even with his backstory, he was. And a lot of these characters weren't built very like thoroughly, but I think Mitch was awesome.
Yeah.
He was just such a good, pure character, and I think like he was the easiest to relate to.
He wasn't doing anything bad. He just kept
I
getting
did think
stuck.
Mitch was an EO for like 2 seconds when he got back up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought
After
he was
the,
an
I was
EO
like, shut
the
up.
whole
He was an
time.
EO the whole time.
Oh
No, I was just immediately sad. I was like, well, thanks, V.
So Patty Crawford
He
asked,
died.
was Mitch an EO with bad luck? The author did not say it, but why did he have such bad luck? And
Yeah.
he did have
I
really
kind of
bad
thought about
luck.
that for a while. Like, was there something traumatic that happened to him at some point where
I think he would have remembered
that
if
was
he
his
died.
power was bad luck and all these people? But I don't think so.
But also the way they described him as just being like an unnaturally hulking brute. It's
Yeah.
like, he's like the Hulk or
And
something.
people
like-
do, they judge based on appearance.
I definitely
even
have
if
my
you shouldn't.
casting for Mitch down.
And he was chronically in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nikki Proskure, sorry, said
Where?
that.
He's a big
Yeah.
old teddy bear with
Yeah.
terrible luck. That's right.
Yeah, I loved Mitch.
Okay,
We'll
well,
get
on
back.
the flip side, though,
Oh, yeah,
Jennifer
flip-
says
flip
she
it.
was frustrated that he had to be saved, that he kept being saved over and over again.
What a roller coaster was
Yeah.
Mitch and almost dying. Like, I was so frustrated because, like, he almost died, like, what, 3 times? All, like, back to back. I was like, oh, no, they can't do this. And then they didn't. And then they did it again. And then they didn't. And
But it was also the way that they structured it. Like, at the
Yeah.
end of each chapter was like an intentional cliffhanger to be like, and then he did pull the trigger, and then he did shoot him. It was like, next chapter, and then we come back to him, and he's still alive, and he's just like, oh yeah, I was just wearing this vest. How about that, huh?
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yay,
But like,
convenient.
he's like, okay, well, he's dead now. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, now he's dead. Oh, no, he's not.
Yeah. Well, and I really did like that he was, what's her name's advocate?
Sydney.
Sydney, thank you.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that.
I like Sidney.
Yeah.
I like
So I was
Oh.
I was talking to my mom earlier. She read the book. I don't know if you're here in the comment section. Hi, mom.
She was.
She was.
She was here.
But so we were talking about Sydney and Mitch's relationship, and she said she was disappointed because I don't know if she said it in the comments, but she said that she was disappointed that when Sydney decided, when Sarina suggested go to your safe place, that she went to Victor and not Mitch, because that seemed like a more likely scenario that
Yeah.
like because they bonded and he was kind of like a father figure to her. She said that disappointed her. She thought that they had a closer connection than that. I don't know what y'all's thoughts were on that.
No, I agree. I think that makes a ton of sense.
I just assumed that Mitch is always with Victor and that she has 2 daddies.
But she, like, it specifically said in the book that Victor was her home. Like, Victor was the safe space.
He took the pain away.
That's true. And I think that was one of the reasons. And that makes a lot of sense because she has, like, an open wound, like a gunshot.
Yeah.
So Carrie White had said about their relationship that she really liked how Mitch is willing to stand up to Victor for Sidney and how you can tell he genuinely cares about her. And I really like that too. I like that he was human and a good guy. Oh, and Jennifer says Victor was also the one that actually saved her.
And he promised her, Justin says, Victor was the one who promised her no one would hurt her again because he would hurt them first.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't say I'm going to protect you in a terrifying way, then I don't know what does.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I don't have to tell someone each day that they're not going to kill me.
Oh, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I was like,
And
'cause
it was
I-
a game.
oh yeah, it was.
It was a
but
game, and their
yeah,
relationship was
That's pretty messed up.
so bad.
It's like, hey,
such
you're not
an
gonna kill me.
understatement.
He's like, you're gonna forget one day, and I'm gonna kill you then.
He's like, yes,
She's like, what are you thinking of?
kiss
I'm
me.
gonna kill you.
But you're not murdering me today, buddy. Like,
Yeah, and
ew.
Lazarus kind of talks about what y'all are talking about, and they're like, the one thing I never understood is why did Serena agree to help Eli murder Sidney? That didn't add up. Yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
I think Serena was so scarred by her powers that she gave up on life and was just looking for an end. And I think that her powers convinced her that the powers are a terrible thing and they weren't meant to come back. And so I think she really understood, or at least saw some logic in what Eli was doing. And it might have been a way to kind of save Sidney in her mind.
she also didn't spend any time with Sidney after this happened, so she didn't know if Sidney had changed or not. So she probably just assumed that Sidney came back wrong as well.
Well, and she also said, like, this is not the Sidney I knew. This is the new Sidney. So she really did think that there were 2 different people, and the one that came back shouldn't have.
Yeah, and she was bored. I mean, it's like if you just get everything you want all the time. I mean, it sounds great. I haven't gotten that, but like I would think after a while that would get old. And so I mean, I think she had gotten complacent and was like welcoming whatever this change was. That, and even if it was like, hey, by the way, we're gonna kill your sister now. She's like, yeah, game on.
I mean, she obviously was torn about it, like, because talking about it is one thing and acting on it is another, and they had talked about it, and then when it actually happened, she was about to stop it, so she was torn, and then obviously at the end we see that there was the conflict, more conflict there, but yeah, she was also definitely a villain.
Just said it was a relationship out of fear.
Yeah. Well, and Jay said Serena was brainwashed by Eli, which, yeah, kinda. Going back to the conscience question.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Sorry, we have tangents
way
all over
long
the
as
place.
well.
Well, I think the most interesting are probably Victor and Eli, just because this is who the story's mostly about, and they're have the most interesting backstories, I think. I think we've kind of addressed Eli's a lot. He really feels like God has sent him to do this, and he feels like God is talking to him through like physical feelings afterwards, because he even mentioned like
it's the calm like right after,
because at one point he didn't get it and he felt regret. He was like, I didn't do the right thing.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Was that when he killed Mitch, or when he thought he killed Mitch? Because Mitch was like,
Yeah, he didn't get that.
It was like right
civilian.
at the end there.
But did he not get that feeling because Mitch is not an EO, or is it because Mitch didn't actually die?
I would venture that it's because he's not an EO, because he was really clear on like, I'm not going to kill regular people.
Well, unless they get in the way.
Unless they're like,
and it's convenient.
unless they're friends with Victor.
No, but in college he killed his professor and he killed the janitor, and he got the warm and fuzzy feeling from God then too.
Oh, thank God! I couldn't remember if that was in this book or the next book.
Oh yeah, it was.
I didn't want to say anything.
Did we talk about Eli's like propensity to murder like immediately? Did y'all
Because
mention
he's
that?
a psycho.
But no, Victor did the exact same thing. The moment he got his powers, he started killing people.
Well, I think so. Philip just asked, do we all agree that becoming an EO does take away some humanity?
It takes something away.
I think that, and she addressed that multiple times,
and
right?
they all did, from different perspectives. Like everyone felt like they weren't coming back whole.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting that when Sarina started using her powers on Eli, it made him feel the things that he felt like for Angie.
Yeah.
And he was like, maybe this is just Serena, or maybe I'm like closing that gap that he mentioned a lot.
Well, no, it was also some of the first connection and first emotions he's had with anybody since he got his powers. And I think that's why it hit him so hard. And then moving on to Victor and his conscience, because when he first got his powers, like I was kind of annoyed with how fast he was to kill everybody. But then I think he really saw some growth, and it's because he had to show restraint for 10 years in jail.
Here's a thought. So Virginia asked, do you all think that Sidney's age at her transition allowed her to maintain more of her conscience because she was younger and less jaded when she died? She didn't lose as much sense of her former self. Just a thought. And I agree. I do think that I was kind of getting that she seemed to retain the character that was written earlier to a degree. Like there wasn't that level of emptiness to, at least that's how I kind of read the same thing, Virginia, that maybe age and innocence does play a contributing factor to this near-death experience and becoming extraordinary.
Well, that's totally possible. I think that's a really good point. And I'd love to see more of that in Vengeful and see more of her as she ages, or we'll see what happens there. But I also think her character before and after are both timid and shy and a little scared. And so I don't know how much of her conscience we actually saw. But I hope that she's in Vengeful, because I would like to see her develop.
We're getting some feedback from a couple of members like Carrie and Lisa, who said that they think Victor didn't actually kill as many people. He just incapacitated them. Like with Pain, he took them down, but he didn't necessarily kill them.
Okay. Well, I know he intended to.
Definitely killed Angie.
Well, and he didn't even intend to kill her, but in the jail, he was just going to kill his
cellmate and then kill the cop. And I think he ended up not having to do one or both of those. He just hurt them.
Yeah. I like how he dropped the guy across the football field with a finger gun. He was just like, bang.
That was funny in a terrible way. There was something, I saw something else.
What did y'all think of, oh God, his name escapes. Is it Rodrigo or, what?
What's the character?
The guy at the end that has the one ring to rule them all, and he can go into
What
the
are you
shadows.
talking
No,
about?
you're gonna have to give like character
Dominic,
descriptions.
thank you. I don't know where Rodrigo came from.
Are you talking about Rush?
Dominic,
Who is
the last EO.
the
guy.
teleporter dude?
The teleporter guy.
The one who can slow down time.
He has the one ring.
The only way I remembered his name was, I couldn't remember his first name. His last name was Rush, and I thought it was ironic because
Oh, because it's like
his
plotting.
ability.
Slow.
That's funny.
Yeah. I kind of thought, and Adam, I don't know what you thought, because I know, were we talking about the Deus Ex Machina of Wool, and I forget what you said, and I believe it was you, but I kind of felt that was a little bit of a
Oh yeah, he solved all their problems.
yeah, it was just like, oh, and boom, and I
Well,
can turn invisible now.
And how
I still
would,
liked it, though.
How would they have dealt with Serena without that dude? Like, it would have been impossible. They would have been completely screwed.
So I
And
thought
that's
it was a
interesting.
little convenient, but I still liked it a lot, because I was like, oh man, you see this like hand reach out and like pull somebody back in. What are you thinking?
Nope, I have nothing to say.
Uh-oh.
The teleporting guy wasn't showing all of the weirdness of the other EOs. He was just in pain. Did someone already read that?
No.
Thank you, Vicky. Yes. He is in a lot of pain because he stepped on...
An IED, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he was a soldier. I mean, that's pretty wicked.
Well,
Power,
and
though.
maybe like all of the weirdness would have shown if he hadn't been in constant pain and wasn't heavily medicating himself. So maybe we got some of that masked.
But it was interesting that when Victor took his pain away, he was able to like straighten up a little bit.
Well, he was in control of himself because he was a soldier.
Yeah.
So I think that also makes a difference.
So going back to Serena and how they would have dealt with him without Dominic, Jay says earplugs. But I even wonder if that would work because she seemed to have a way with people even when she wasn't talking. Like,
Earplugs and a blindfold.
Well,
Victor
but
did it. Victor did
have
have
earplugs
in.
at the
Oh,
end when
you're
they
right,
came out
he
of the
did.
shadows. He
Just in case.
said something about taking earplugs out, and then
Because
he
what if she had just yelled like,
completely
everybody
right.
stop? And then you're screwed.
instead he just like,
Leanne says sniper for Serena.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
That would have been a good
perfect.
one. Leanne,
That's
I want you
perfect.
on my team.
And then set her on fire.
well, that's not necessary. Oh, also,
Well, it was necessary because then Sidney would have brought her back to life.
They did. They
Victor?
set her on fire.
Victor just snuck up behind her and slit her throat, and then they lied to Sidney and like moved her away. Do you think Sidney still considers Victor as home and safe? He just like brutally murdered her sister.
She doesn't know that. She's just a diggin'. That was a comment I saw earlier. Sorry, I just remembered. Someone said that they had a problem with how easy it was for them to dig up graves because there should be concrete in there. That's a good
Ah,
point.
I didn't know
I think
that.
this is for, they put, I don't know why they do this, by the way.
It's for the zombie apocalypse.
I mean, honestly, that's the only thing I can think of is they put the body in the box and then the box in the concrete box and then the concrete box deep down in the hole. And what is the concrete box for? It has to be for zombies.
The zombie apocalypse. Well, also for grave robbers, I guess, to like deter it.
Who's gonna
Grave
rob
robbers.
someone these days? Like for an Ann Taylor dress? Like that's all you're gonna get.
and a
Like,
wig.
Sorry,
mean,
the cement keeps
vintage
them
Ann
from
Taylor,
digging
see?
out. Thanks, Jane.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, so Samantha says, I bet Sidney thinks Eli killed her. I mean, and he was planning on doing it eventually, so I
As
don't
soon
think,
as she forgot to say it,
I think that makes sense.
everybody is talking about zombies now. Thank you so much.
You actually
brought it upon
brought it up
yourself.
this
I-
time. But I
It's
really
okay. Next month's vampires, so
That's different. I like vampires. They don't eat brains.
So Carrie brings up a good point.
Yes.
She says, I think Sidney could revive a burned body since she heals even missing organs.
Yeah.
What do you think the extent of that is? Like, how mangled and disfigured do you need to be before it's
The
just
first
like...
person had an autopsy and like had organs taken out. Like I feel like her powers are pretty significant. And we
So-
kind of already covered this with the decapitation thing.
Oh, she did do the organ thing.
Oh, you talked about cutting people's heads off?
Oh yeah, we
I
had a
missed that.
whole thing about that.
Oh, man.
Like several applications.
Yeah, we talked about.
Can we
Your
get-
wife talked about decapitation a lot.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to hide all the sharp things in the house.
She said
You
it was
just have
the
to tell her
logical
each night
solution.
that she's not going to kill
No,
you.
no, context. Logical solution for getting rid of Eli and making sure he doesn't heal himself is decapitation.
So, but we should explore that because, like, Sidney's powers and Eli's powers, like, how far, what's the extent? And I really want to know just
We
for,
already
like...
talked
did
about all
kind
of
of
that.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
What were you
We'll go
doing?
back and rewatch this later.
No.
That's what the VOD's for, dude.
What?
So you talked about, like, if he got dismembered and, like, burned and,
We
like,
talked about Eli's a starfish. Cut off all the members and he grows like 6 Elis. We talked about decapitation and Sidney reviving both sides. Does that mean 2 Elis? Or 2 like people? Yeah, we like covered the whole spectrum.
I missed this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Did you hear the part about what happens when Sidney dies? Does everyone she revives die?
Yeah,
That
I
was the
think I
poll.
think I came back for that.
Oh, that was the poll. I haven't gotten the poll yet.
Oh, you
Did
haven't?
anybody done the poll?
Has anyone gotten the poll?
Some people have voted in the poll,
Okay, good.
but I don't want to publish the results because it's 50-50.
Well,
like-
give it a little longer.
Yeah, when I
So-
get it.
Moving on a little bit, Justin asked, was there symbolism in the city name Merit, as in deserving because of ability? And I think
deep.
that's really cool.
I didn't even think
No,
about
I
that.
didn't either.
I also did not think of that.
I was just like, what state is this in? Is it Illinois? 'Cause I feel like it's Illinois.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's
Do you think there
interesting.
was? Because he's here.
Yeah, answering
Right
your
over
question.
I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting choice for a name of a city that,
He-
like, what the whole
he
book
just-
is about.
He's saying it. Yeah,
He said he didn't
interesting
know.
choice.
He just thought it was interesting. If you can't hear him.
Probably then. I don't think that would be a coincidence.
Gene says if Sidney digs up a dinosaur, we could have Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
And that's how we get there. Thank you, Gene. That was the best comment of the night in my book.
We can't pay for that music.
Oh my God, the possibilities with Sidney are like,
She's like,
what if she touches your steak?
does it turn into a cow?
Yeah. How much has to be left, and like how far can she go? I love this topic.
I just want to watch Jurassic Park now.
That's fair.
That's awesome.
You think she
Jurassic
can
World
eat steak?
3. In case
What?
anyone missed that.
Think she can eat steak?
Oh, that's a great
It's
question.
a conscious effort. I will say that. It's not like she's like, ooh, dead body. Oh, fixed him.
Well-
it takes effort. She has to find the thread and willfully bring
So
them
how
back.
do you find a thread
so
in
stay
like,
away from my steak.
I don't know. Like,
But it was fun. It was, going back to a serious thing. She had to, when she revived the dog for the second time, she had to try a whole
Yeah,
lot
she-
harder. And that was almost very sad for me. And
It was almost super sad because she thought she could only give second chances, and I was like, but
yeah, I
this
thought
dog
that
deserves
I
a
didn't think
third.
Doll was coming
Dogs
back.
are like cats. He should get 9 lives, or I'm not gonna feel good about it.
Or did she bring less of Doll back the second time? Because she did with
Yeah, what's
Barry.
his face?
yeah.
Barry Lynch.
But less
Yeah.
of a dog is still better than no dog.
That's true.
He was very connected to her. It said he was like
Less of a dog is
like
still
owed
better
his
than
life
a person.
to her, I think she said, or something. So just like right next to her.
So talking about the ending, Vicky Pack asks, was the ending a twist or expected? What do y'all think?
So,
Everyone just went.
it was kind of expected, but kind of a twist. Like, I kind of let myself not try to predict what was going on. And so I actually, when I got to it and I appreciated that Victor's plan was to die the whole time and have Eli get arrested and incarcerated forever, and therefore he's gone. Like, that's the only way to get rid of Eli. I was like, I'm with you. I like that. And I didn't try to really predict. I thought the showdown was going to come, and at first I didn't understand because there was a break between chapters, and Victor was like murdering Eli, like torturing the crap out of him.
Yeah,
and then he comes
super
back, and
gross.
all of a sudden Victor's got a bunch of injuries. I'm like, how did you let this happen? What? How did this? Like, what are you doing? You like can turn his paint on infinitely. And then all of a sudden I'm reading about him having to turn his paint off because he's got like knife wounds, and then like it escalates quickly with the barbed wire and all that stuff. Man, and then I got to the end and I was like, aha, I see what you did there. So it was a mild twist.
It was a willing suspension.
It was the same for me. I had no clue. I did not think that was his plan, was to die, and I was very confused. And I was like, "Are things going poorly?"
Yeah.
And then once it actually happened, I was like, "Oh, okay."
So
Thank you, Sidney.
Kristen Hooper says, I was surprised Victor sacrificed himself. I didn't think he had it in him. He didn't know if Sidney could bring him back because he was an EO. He's already been back once.
See, I didn't see it as a sacrifice. I saw it more as him being so dadgum sure that he could take Eli down that was the point.
Yeah.
And it would be worth it all if he could get Eli. He just knew that this was going to work.
Yeah,
and Eli was going to get caught.
I agree that like Victor was smug the entire time. There was not really a time throughout the book, and this might be one of my like nitpicky issues with Victor's story, is that it never really seemed like he lost control. Like he was like his plans always just happened. Like there was no hiccup with Sarina. There was no like his plan happened with Eli, and we were just not privy to it. Like he kept it very close to the chest.
Yeah.
So for us, it was kind of a twist. But like for Victor, everything kind of went according to plan. He had that one incident with the cop at the bar, and like Mitch, like
almost
that was
losing Mitch like 3 times.
almost losing Mitch. But then Mitch was just like, I remember I wore the vest and we're good. Everybody's good. We're cool. And he's just like, get up.
So I didn't actually think about this until just now, but Sidney hasn't brought Victor back yet. She is digging him up. So is it going to be successful? Like, is she going to be able to bring all of him back?
You can't ask questions about the second book.
We're not allowed to
read
talk about it, but
No, he smiled at the end.
Oh,
Did
he
he
did smile.
smile?
Yeah, he
Okay.
smiled.
I was about to be like,
Yeah.
hold on.
That was
Did
like the
I
last
do
sentence.
something really bad?
But Ian
I
had
promised
a
I
good point. The twist for me was Serena's death and the cops losing
My
their
bad.
veil. I think that was the twist for me too. Was like, oh, okay, they're walking into this crime scene basically, and it's like, okay, dude, you have 0 scratches on you. This guy's obviously tortured, and there's a
Yeah.
burned body in the back. And we've been following this trail of murders for 10 years. So I think that was the kicker for me too.
yeah.
Oh, and Leanne says, here's the kicker. Was it Victor's plan to die before Sidney got involved?
Well, like Talia said, like maybe he just went in there with so much overconfidence, knowing he wasn't gonna die, that I don't know if it even occurred to him.
Yeah, and what was the plan before Sidney? Because that's a huge audible,
He
right?
Did he know that Eli was in merit before?
No,
he
I don't
dumped
think he
him?
did,
Like,
right?
So that's why I don't
Because
think
he was still trying to
had
find him.
I don't think he had this plan.
Oh.
His whole plan was to get out and find him. That's what he was so driven when he was in prison the whole time. He was like, I have to find him. I have to find him. I have to find him. I don't think he really knew what he was going to do other than the repeated shots to replicate what happened to him. I honestly don't know that he was focused that far past that. Also, totally separate, Misty on YouTube says, there's a question I still have about Serena and Sidney. Are their parents that bad? Can we talk about all of the parents here?
Yeah, they
all
all
of these
suck.
All of them are
EOs have
terrible.
really, really crappy parents.
But to be fair, Serena and Sidney, I don't know how they were before they died, but when they came back, Serena told them to, like, just don't worry about them. Like, she sent them off. But the rest of the parents are terrible.
But they weren't worried about Sidney either. She didn't say leave me and Sidney alone. She said I'm going to go do my own thing. Bye.
Well, aren't they like traveling the world though? Like, aren't they
yeah,
on like a
without
tour?
their children.
Because I think Serena probably told them to.
Oh.
Or that's how
I-
I took it.
Yeah,
But also they all suck.
they all suck.
yeah.
But yes.
Talking about how the book was written.
Yes.
Victoria Simpson said she liked the second half much more than the first, and she thought it was because of the build-up and suspense. The countdown with the chapters was an amazing technique, and I really appreciated that, seeing the countdown.
That did for sure build the tension. I
Yeah,
I
so
agree
Aaron
wholeheartedly.
Morgenstern, that's how you write chapter headings.
Like, minutes until midnight.
Oh, yeah. I
haven't
thought you
watched
meant that the chapters were counting down like
oh no, so
large.
until midnight. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and that's again getting back to like building. Where is this all going? she nailed that because I was in Night Circus. I was just in this dream world of like, what is going on and why should I care? Because there's no culmination point. I knew at midnight something was going to happen.
Oh, so Mike says, sorry, going back a little bit. I think Victor said he never had a concrete plan until right before the end, which fits, I think.
That's how I roll.
I just want to mention this because it was something that was disappointing for me.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a thing. But I was kind of hoping that it would be revealed in the book that Sidney had the power to grant people EO abilities. I don't know if you already talked about this, but like people are dying and then they're being revived.
And we kind of talked about it in the last book, or in the last discussion, about how if she brings them back, can they come back with EO abilities? And I think we said that it was a no. But I thought that concept was awesome.
Yeah, I was hoping there would be maybe like a twist to that because we'd only read the first half, at least
So
I had.
so wait, so
She
you're saying
cannot.
so when Victor comes back, he's not Neo. Is that what you're saying?
So they have to bring themselves back, like kind of with their will or whatever. And so if she just brings them back, they don't come back with EO powers.
It has to be a near-death
But
experience.
if they already have EO powers,
The will, their final thoughts, the adrenaline, all of these are factors in them coming back. So if they just die and then she heals them, then it's just a dead person she healed.
But is the will what keeps them? Because they die. They like straight die.
Are you
right?
talking about an EO who has died?
No, I'm talking about anybody, a person
like
who
the
is-
autopsy person.
who has died. Yeah, like the autopsy. Like you don't know what was going through their mind in the moment of death. So they could have been thinking like, give me
Well-
Cyclops powers, and then.
But they did also specify.
What is a Cyclops power?
Have you seen the X-Men?
No,
Yes, she has.
Okay,
No, she has.
Let's go back.
the adrenaline of a near-death
Yeah, it has to be
experience.
near death.
That is the point. When people die, you die for like, you can't be brain dead yet. So you've only been dead for like a couple of minutes and then you come back. If you're dead longer than that, then you're dead.
But I think it would have been amazing if she could have brought them back with EO abilities.
Yeah,
Like, that
see,
would
me
have
too.
changed the game.
Oh, it's a whole different book.
Well,
it would have been.
I want to
You're
read
right.
the third book then. V.E. Schwab.
She's tired. She said she might not write a third one.
Without spoilers, did the second one end?
No,
well
don't
enough
ask.
to
No,
where-
you can't ask that question.
Is it a cliffhanger? Is that what you're
Is
asking?
it a cliffhanger? Yes or no?
Because you can.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
You
Don't
can,
answer that
have, you
question.
can have first books in the
Nah,
series
totally
that
not
are
spoiler.
a cliffhanger.
Okay.
So also
Drink your
talking
juice.
about
I
how
mean, technically, this book could have ended like.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. Also talking about how the book was written. Dan Lafferty said he was losing interest in the book, but he wanted to finish it for the live discussion, and so he started reading it, and was just reading the dialogue and skipped all the narration, and he felt like he didn't miss a thing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I can kind of see that just with the
Yeah.
way it was written.
I mean, it's very comic booky. I mean, honestly, and I think I said that last time, but I don't know if there's a graphic novel, but I could totally see this translated
I can't
really
believe
well.
you only read part of the book.
Well, I read that she was actually like greatly influenced by like the comic book movies, like all the Marvel
really?
and DC.
Yeah.
Because in the acknowledgments at the end, she was like, "Thanks for so and so for going to see all of the movies, like the comic book movies, with me." So you could tell like there was a lot of influence.
We got a
there.
bunch of Cyclops haters in the comments, and I'm not appreciating that right now.
There can only be one, Russell.
I'm such a good superhero. I can shoot light out of my eyeball.
He's the leader of the X-Men.
Professor X is the leader of the X-Men.
No, he's like the mentor. Cyclops leads them in the field.
Until he dies.
In the movies.
Oh, look, I'm just like that guy from Star Trek.
Geordie?
Are you making fun of Star Trek now too?
Nope.
No, she's saying Geordie's way cooler than Cyclops.
I hate everybody.
He's from Reading Rainbow. How can you not love him?
Oh, you know,
Star
Rachel.
Trek in the sky.
Rachel Conroy says there's a graphic novel for her other series, A Darker Shade of Magic.
Oh, cool.
And I feel
Thank you,
that.
Rachel.
I
I'll have
feel
to check
like
that out.
this series would lend itself really well to a comic book,
Oh,
so I'd
totally.
love to see that.
Yeah, I see it in like the vein of like Sin City, where it's you know all black and white and like splashes of red, kind of thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
What? What do you?
So the,
Everyone's just being so mean to
the
Cyclops.
comment section
Sorry,
is
Adam.
I'm so sorry.
He was not done justice in the
This
movies.
is true. Gigglesbed says he couldn't aim. His power was Sorry. Okay. Before we disperse, last comments, feelings, emotions, thoughts on Vicious. And then I have something important to say.
Well, for me, I really enjoyed the book, and I can't wait to start Vengeful.
Yay! I can't wait to talk about it with
Yeah.
you.
That's it?
Really liked it.
I feel like in the last hour, I have done all my thoughts and opinions and comments.
So I'm gonna say, because I only had like 3/4 of this
Yeah.
live stream to talk about it. This is, I think I heard Lucas say that this was like his second favorite book to Wool. Mine too. I really liked this book, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna get into it, but she did it. She got me into it, and I want to read the second book too. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to because we're reading 2 books next month.
2 books.
And that's 2 books. That's 1 book more than I read a month.
But the first one is so short.
Yeah,
It's little.
that's true. So I would also like to read Vengeful. I'm invested in this world. And V.E. Schwab, if you're watching,
Well, she is.
good job.
Totally watching right now.
You roped me in.
What about you guys?
I really liked it. I was kind of scared because I did really struggle with the Night Circus, so I really appreciated the pacing a lot more. Oh, good evening. We are obviously live at Second and Charles, so make
We
sure
have to
that
go
you,
buy all of our stuff.
everyone buy all the books.
Sorry, if you can hear that, they're doing an announcement over the
They're,
intercoms.
yeah, they can probably hear that.
Second and Charles is closing soon.
Second and Charles is closing in
We
30
have
minutes.
30 minutes.
But we have 30
it's
minutes.
fine.
We're
We
fine.
Sorry,
can
but
pack
we
up all our stuff
basically-
and-
What were you
It's all
saying,
good.
Lucas?
No, I really liked it. I was just worried that it was going to be a slog for me again, and I was like, oh man, I can't have another month like this. So yeah, thumbs up. Like I said, it's my second favorite behind Wool, and I did it. I have read 4 books in 4 months.
Also, we're going to have a serious talk about Cyclops.
Okay, Jeff, don't be heartbroken. We really liked Good Omens.
Yeah.
Also, where to go? Anthony says he has to wait on Vengeful, but if anybody read the short story prequel, yes, don't call it a prequel. It's 6 pages long.
Yeah.
But if you feel like reading it, great. But be aware, it's literally like 6 or 7 pages long. It's a scene and not really a story. But it's great if you want an extra 6 pages. So, yes. Please remember, this is the final discussion for this month, which means we are giving away a mostly mystery box, which is super awesome. It has a literarily wasted glass t-shirt, bookmark, koozie. It has both of October's books in it and some really other cool stuff that we picked out. So if you haven't said anything in this discussion, say something now so that we will see your comment and throw you into the drawing.
That said, if your comment is Cyclops is a major tool, and I will not use it.
Disregard Adam.
I see you in the comment section.
Those still count.
Whatever,
So
we
sorry,
use a
Adam.
random picker and Adam has nothing to do with it. It's fine.
I do it. I do all of it.
Stop.
Same for YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you
So-
say something.
If you don't want to bank on winning it and you need to get your books, which is We Have Always Lived in the Castle and Interview with a Vampire, thank you very much. One of them, and then the other one of them.
I forgot this.
Oh, one second. So both of these books, you can get them at Second and Charles. Tell them you're in our book club. You get 20% off. Thank you so much to Second and Charles for helping us do this, for letting us do this here, for being awesome. Y'all are the best. And speaking of the best, book club member Melissa, who everybody knows because she's super awesome, made
With
us
a cameo.
another cake.
Another cake.
Look at this cake.
Take that to the camera. Is it? Can you
I'm so
see?
scared. Don't tilt
tell
it
me
too much.
where.
I can see it.
Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Hold
And
it up
look.
a little bit.
It's spoiler ridden.
There's skulls and bloody bones and is that a shovel or a knife? I can't tell.
It's a knife.
And a little casket made of.
Casket.
Yes, it is.
Oh, no, I said
right?
see the casket.
Oh, sorry. And it's blacked out, and it says, "Let's viciously get lit."
And it has all the tombstones for the
with their
people that
names
have died.
on it. And we're gonna eat it.
We're gonna eat it.
Is that good? You can see
Yeah,
everything?
you're good.
Yeah,
Thank you,
This is
Melissa.
awesome. Thank you.
Jay
Yeah.
said, "How many peanut butter Kit Kats are left?"
Jay,
What
we
peanut
actually
butter
have
Kit
the
Kat?
care package on the table right here, and
There's
we
like
think
a
of you
couple.
every
There's
every
less
Wednesday.
every time.
Yes,
There's less every time.
Okay, for everyone who is new, don't forget that you can find us on Facebook, on our page, and in our group, The Literarily Wasted Lounge. We're also on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. And just come talk to us and hang out with us, and then read books and talk to us about it.
And
You
if
can
you're having
also
fun,
find-
share it with your friends.
You can
Tell
also
your
find
friends
me in my one-person Facebook group, Cyclops is the best. X-Man. You'll see me just sort of crying to myself.
Are you going to talk about some extra stuff or not?
No.
Is that
what?
secret?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There is possibly some bonus content that we will be releasing on Friday. I'm not going to promise that for sure yet because right now I don't really like it. But
cute.
if I
Don't
fix
let
it, then maybe you'll see it Friday.
It's
I'll
super
let you
cute.
know. And then Monday night.
Monday.
This coming Monday night, which is September
30th.
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 September 30th, we are doing a bonus live stream that evening at what time, Adam?
What time?
We'll tell
I
you
don't know.
later.
Sometime that we
Probably
will tell you later.
7-ish.
We're gonna do a bonus live stream from our creepy basement. Just kidding, it's a
It's
fun
the
basement.
Geek Garage.
And we're gonna be doing a gaming the book live stream.
Which
so
is
Yeah, y'all voted for the Night
Yes.
Circus.
Yeah, the Night Circus
so
won
I am
by-
now
by a
struggling to
landslide.
make a Night Circus themed Super Mario Maker level. So tune in to see what I come up with and what Lucas comes up with because it's going to be interesting and it'll be live this time, not canned. So
Yeah, so y'all tune in. We appreciate all the feedback
you're
on that.
probably gonna say more bad words.
I will definitely be building my level on a plane tomorrow as I travel for work.
Also, real quick, because it hasn't been posted, we had some issues mailing out the last month's mostly mystery box winner,
Yes.
but Chelsea Steinkamp, congratulations! You already know you won. It's going to get to you, promise, and then you'll all see once she gets it what's
What
going
she
on.
got, and for her troubles, we're adding in October's books as well since there was a delay. They sent it back for some reason. They knew. I don't know what
Yeah,
they knew.
Sierra
but
said they
knew.
basically played soccer with the box
Aw.
at the UPS
Say
station or
that, they'll
something.
hear us and they'll do it again.
It's not our fault.
Smart. Anyways, yay, we did it. We read another book. Add this one to the red stack and then grab your next one.
our next two.
Next two.
Well, one at a time. Jeez. Thanks for joining us. This was Literarily Wasted. We're going to go eat some cake now. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.